My name's Dr. Roxana Willis and I work at the Centre of Criminology at the University of Oxford. In answering the question, are criminals born or made, we might start to ask ourselves, what is it that makes someone criminal in the first place? And this usually depends on what is classified as being a crime. There are some things that we find are criminal in all country contexts, things like the prohibition, the need not to kill people. But there are other things that we find are criminal in some places, but not criminal in others. For example, we might have are drugs a criminal matter, taking drugs, or is it a welfare matter? And these might change from different country contexts. So there's often a question, what factors lead people to commit a crime? We often find that there are certain groups that tend to be over-criminalised. These might include, for example, people of lower socioeconomic status, so people from poorer backgrounds. It might include people of ethnic minorities. Men are overrepresented in the criminal justice system, and so on. This might lead us to ask, do these particular groups, are they more criminogenic? Are they more likely to commit a crime? Or we might say, is the criminal justice system disproportionately affecting people of these groups? There are lots of theories in criminology to help us think about more, why is it that certain groups are more criminalised than others, and what factors might be leading to this. So, for example, some of the theories might be biological. Does someone's brain affect their tendency to commit crime? Is it something to do with genetic inheritance? Could it be something to do with intelligence? These are all biological factors that have been used to explain crime. These theories were particularly prominent in the past and have gone under various forms of criticism. We also have another strand of theory which looks at the social factors that might lead someone to commit a crime. For example, could it be to do with place or geography where someone lives? Are there certain things in our environment that lead us to commit crime? Could it be economic factors? For example, someone being poor. Could this be a factor? Is this why there's an overrepresentation of socioeconomic people and people from disadvantaged backgrounds in the criminal justice system? Is there something to do with poverty that leads someone to need to commit a crime? Are they experiencing strain or stresses of poverty? Other theories might look at cultural factors. Are there subcultures, criminal cultures, which lead people to be more likely, if they're from that culture, to commit a crime? Or does it have things to do with social control? There's not enough people around willing to stop and intervene in the crime. Is it to do with who our friends are, and so on? So there's often a debate which is termed as the nature versus nurture debate. And this often comes up in criminology as well as other areas of sciences and social exploration. And what we mean by this, when we ask, is it nature or is it nurture, is what factors are leading to the reason for behaviour or something occurring? Are they more social factors or are they more biological factors? So the nature being the biological explanations and the nurture being focused on the social explanations. So as we can see, these already seem to map out quite nicely onto the criminology theories and how these have developed. So the biological theories finding an explanation of nature that's within the person, and that's the reason why someone behaves in a criminal way. Or is it the social factors from environment and so on, the nature that leads someone to act in a criminal way? From my work, I would say I think this question is somewhat misplaced because it assumes that it's an either or question. Is it nature or nurture? And what we know is it's actually very complex, and we should be asking, how does the nature and nurture intersect? How do these factors combine to lead to certain behaviour? And this maps on very nicely to what we know in scientific discoveries as we're making in epigenetics, and how the environment leads our genes to express in different ways. So even in the most scientific areas, we're seeing that it would be a mistake to completely not consider social factors. And the same in the social areas, it would be, we wouldn't be fully including everything if we didn't also look at how biology intersects with that. Criminology is a great subject to answer questions such as, do we say the same from birth? Because we often look at life courses to see how do people change over the lifetime. If we take, for example, offenders, is there a change? We find that young people tend to commit more offences than adults. So what's happening in this life course? It's also a great area to consider biological factors as well as the social factors, and to explore these at different points in the person's lifetime. Criminology draws on lots of different disciplines. It doesn't just look at what's known in criminology. We might also go into the sciences, into law, into sociology, into various areas, into psychology, and we bring all of these different schools of thought together. So there's a lot of freedom in criminology to explore these difficult questions in complex ways.